Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day, which is relevant for both prelims and mains examination, will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 17th of June. The first news is 14th Periodic Labor Force Survey on Unemployment. We'll see the detail about this. Second, Indian ASEAN Conclave. Third, move to link credit card with UPI. This is going to be transformative if implemented at the earliest. This is from the explain page, right? Now, the other is NATGI, recommend reducing the booster dose. And the last is an editorial in the shadow of sanctions. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. So starting with the first news of the day, that is 14th Periodic Labor Force Survey on Unemployment, something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is Indian Economy and Issues Related to Planning, Mobilization, Resource Growth and Development. So, according to the Periodic Labor Force Survey, which was released by the National Statistical Office, जो unemployment rate है, the unemployment rate between the person aged above 50 or aged 15 years and above in urban areas has dipped to 8.2% for the month of January to March 2022 from 9.3% that was a year ago quarter. So earlier the data was around 9.3% for the same quarter. Now this has been reduced to 8.2%. Now some important findings of the survey. I'll just give you a brief detail about the findings. So first, what is about the unemployment rates? Unemployment rate or joblessness was high in January and March, that is 2021, mainly due to the staggering impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns, right, which has import curve on the several. Because of the COVID-19, we have seen that the disruption was even evident in many of the sectors. The major sectors of the economy was hugely disrupted. Joblessness or unemployment rate is defined as a percentage of unemployment person among the labor force, right? So these are some of the basics. If it is being asked in examination, you must be aware of some of the basic concepts. Unemployment rate among females की अगर बात करें, it shows that the unemployment rate among the female, that is above 15 and above in the urban area, has declined to 10.1%. Earlier it was 11.1%, 11.8% earlier, 11.8, and now it has been reduced to 10.1%, and it was 10% in October-December 2021. So this is the data, the cumulative data. Now about the unemployment rate among the males. In males, the unemployment rate has dipped to 7.7%. Earlier it was 8.6%, and for the same quarter for October-December, like it was 8.3%. Now the labor force participation rate की अगर बात करें, what is this actually? So labor force participation rate in the current weekly status is an urban AF person aged between 15 and above, that has declined to 47.3% for the January and March quarter, down from 47.5% in the same quarters, and it was 47.3% for October-December 2021. So these are some of the data. You don't need to learn the data, but आपको ये देखना है कि trend किस तरह से follow हो रही है, whether it is increasing, decreasing, what is the trend, because sometimes UPSC tend to ask you a question about the chronology, about the trend of the economic performances. So the labor force refers to the part of the population which supplies or offers supply labors of pursuing economic activities, जहाँ पे productions of goods की बात करें, services की बात करें, that include both employment and unemployed persons. Now about the Periodic Labor Force Survey, this was actually launched by NSO in 2017, and PFLS is a quarterly bulletin that is brought out to give an estimation about the labor force indication, namely unemployment rate क्या है इंडिया में, वर्क्स फोर्स की रेशियो क्या है जिसको WPR के नाम से भी जानते हैं, labor force participation rate LFPR, distributions of work among the broad status of employment and industries in the CWS, and estimated unemployment work, that is given in the average pictures of the unemployment in short period for 7 days during the survey period. So this is how the actual periodic labor force come into action, and this has been giving a substantial result which is helping for the economic forecast. India's Asian conclave, important for General Studies Paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement, evolving India's and affecting India's interest. So recently, ASEAN Foreign Minister two-day conclave was hosted by India to mark 30th anniversaries in the relationship of this on nation, which is a 10-nation grouping. I'll give you the member countries also. So the ASEAN is considered to be the most influential group in the region, and India and the several other countries, include United States, China, Japan, Australia, has its dialogue partners. So these are important dialogue partners. If it is being asked in examination, you can easily able to answer this, right? So this is held in Delhi, New Delhi, and the time was 16th of June, special ASEAN India Foreign Minister meeting. Now, what was India's stand in this meeting? What was the thing that was discussed? So, India fully support a strong, unified, and prosperous ASEAN as whole entity, where Indo-Pacific is fully recognized. Now, the External Affairs Minister, that Mr. S. Jaishankar, has said that a better connected India and ASEAN would be well positioned to promote decentralization, globalization, resilient supply chains. The foreign minister has also said that the ASEAN member need to talk and need to work towards a post-pandemic recovery. We have seen that the lockdown has not only impacted India, it's a global repercussion that has been seen. So the ASEAN member would look forward to come with resolutions where we can come forward with a post-economic recovery. Now, India and Indo-Pacific Initiative, the External Affairs Minister of India has said that there's a strong convergence between Asian outlook in the Indo-Pacific or Indian, खास करके जो Indo-Pacific की जो initiatives है, which is something evident for all the member countries also. ASEAN has always stood on a beacon in terms of religionism, multilateralism, and globalism. So if it is being asked in examination, Indo-Pacific के initiatives या ASEAN के क्या effects रही है post effects, you can see that the regionalism, multilateralism, and the globalizations have been severely expanded. The External Affairs Minister said that it is important to identify a new set of priorities जहाँ पे ASEAN members ये ensure करेंगी to early realization of ongoing initiatives. India fully supports strong, unified, and prosperous ASEAN. With a central role of Indo-Pacific, both sides should intensify the set of priorities while navigating through the development in Ukraine. Now, about the ASEAN. ASEAN is a 10-member grouping considered to be one of the most influential group in Asia. India has several other countries including US, China, Japan, Australia as its dialogue partner. And the ASEAN-India dialogue relations started with the establishment of sectoral partnership in 1992. Now, something more about ASEAN that would be important for your examination. So we'll look into the glance of this ASEAN community. So it's together with an average real growth rate of 5.3% between 2007 to 15. It's the sixth largest in the world, third largest in Asia. If we talk about trade value, this is 700 billion. And about the investment, this is 21 billion as of 2015. And the third largest by populations, and more than half of the population aged 30 and 47% in the urban area. So these are some of the factual information about the ASEAN members country. Now, the move to linked credit card with UPI, it's a game changer initiative coming from RBI, and if it is implemented, it will help a lot more people. Important for General Studies Paper 3, that is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth, and development. So the Reserve Bank of India has recently proposed to allow a linking of credit card with unified payment interface, and the move is a part of central bank efforts to enhance the scope of unified पेमेंट इंटरफेस जिसको यूपीआई के नाम से भी जाना जाता है. यूपीआई हैज बिकम द मोस्ट पॉपुलर मोड इन इंडिया, जहां पे 26 करोड़ यूजर्स पाए गए एंड 5 करोड़ मर्चेंट ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म्स. यूपीआई ट्रांजेक्शन इन इंडिया की अगर बात करें, द यूपीआई ओवर द टाइम हैज बिकम अ पॉपुलर मोड. इवन most of the people, even you, must be also using UPI as a prefer mode of payment. जब भी आप किसी shop पे जाते हैं, you rather scan the barcode and make the payment. It's convenient. You don't have to wait for the change, and even you don't have to wait in the queue to make the payment done. It's very easy and hassle-free process, right? So this is a transformation that we have seen in the UPI. So almost 26 crore users पाए गए. और अगर बात करें पूरी ट्रांजेक्शन्स की, सो दिस इज 594 करोड़ ट्रांजेक्शन्स रिपोर्ट किए गए एंड द वैल्यू वाज 10.4 लाख करोड़ रुपीस, राइट. एट प्रेजेंट यूपीआई जो है फैसिलिटेट करती है जहाँ पे आप अपने सेविंग या क्रेडिट या करंट अकाउंट, ओनली सेविंग एंड करंट, नॉट क्रेडिट, क्रेडिट के लिए बात चल रही है. तो अभी आप फिलहाल के लिए सेविंग और करंट अकाउंट को लिंक कर सकते हैं, अपने डेबिट कार्ड को लिंक कर सकते हैं, सो दैट यू कैन मेक द पेमेंट. Now, it has proposed that credit card will soon be allowed to make a payment through the UPI mode, right? तो ये बहुत बड़ी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होगी जहाँ पे क्रेडिट कार्ड की काफ़ी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस होती है, आप उसको बहुत लिमिटेड जगह पे यूज़ कर पाते हैं. यू कैन नॉट यूज़ इट एज अ डेबिट कार्ड, बट वंस इट इज़ देयर इन द UPI, वट एवर लिमिट इज़ देयर, जो भी लिमिट्स आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड में सेट होगी उतनी की आप ट्रांजेक्शन UPI में भी कर पाएंगे. इट्स अ ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव डिसीजन. बट अगेन इसके लूप होल्स भी होंगे, इसके चैलेंजेस भी होंगे, सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न्स भी होंगे, बिकॉज मेनी डिजिटल फ्रॉड इज ऑल्सो टेकिंग प्लेस. सो अकॉर्डिंगली government is looking into each and every aspects of it so that we can even secure the platform. Now this is so intended to provide additional convenience to the user and enhance the scope of digital payment in our country. Availability of service की अगर बात करें, this facility would be available after the requirement of the development is completed. So once the software and other part, everything is tested, then they would be come into the public domain. The RBI will use necessary instruction to the National Payment Corporation of India, that is NPCI, जो कि separately facilitate करेगी सारी changes को. And to begin with, initially government ने कहा है जो indigenous रुपए डेबिट कार्ड है या क्रेडिट कार्ड्स होंगे जो, उनको लिंक किया जाएगा UPI ट्रांजेक्शन से. It is likely to be followed by the other card networks such as Visa, MasterCard, that would be allowed for the more users. Advantages of this decision. First, the advantages is expected to provide additional avenues for the payment to the customer and hence enhance the convenience. The linking of credit card will also propose to further deepen the reach and users with the credit card users. Even for some for some small vendors, they do not accept the credit card, right? तो कुछ ऐसे vendors है जो सिर्फ डेबिट कार्ड या UPI से ही पेमेंट्स लेते हैं. तो उस तरह के मौके पे when someone is having a credit card facilities with a credit limit, X number of credit limit, so he can use that credit limit via UPI mode. So I personally feel that this is something which is going to be very transformative in terms of the payment, and even it will call for a lot more circulations of UPI transactions. खास करके अगर बात करें जो contributions होंगी इकोनॉमी में भी इसकी वो ज़्यादा होगी. Impact of this decision of the credit card users, it is expected to boost the transaction and acceptance more on the merchant side. Linking of credit card with the UPI is likely to increase the uses of small ticket size payments, that it will provide for more options. And even significant boost would be there for the credit card, जहाँ पे currently credit card बहुत जगह पे यूज़ नहीं की जाती, मैंने आपको बताया. तो एक मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट हो सकती है पेमेंट पे, और जितनी ट्रांजेक्शन होगी कहीं ना कहीं वो हमारे उसकी जो कैलकुलेशन है वो GDP में ही जाएगी. सो दिस इज समथिंग विच विल हेल्प इन अ लॉन्गर रन. और अगर वैसे देखें, सो अदर एस्पेक्ट इज दैट डेफिनेटली द फ्लो ऑफ मनी इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. Now, NTAGI recommend reducing the booster dose, something important for General Studies Paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So recently, the Standing Technical Subcommittee of the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunizations has recommended reducing the gap between the second and precautionary dose of COVID-19 vaccines from the current 9 to 6 months. Now, the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunizations, इन्होंने कहा है, basically this is an apex vaccine strategy body, and they said that once the health ministry take the decision, the final call, then only this would be implemented at the final decision. So the threat of monkeypox and the requirement for the vaccination were also discussed at the meeting of the NATCI. तो जो नेशनल टेक्निकल एडवाइजरी ग्रुप ऑन इम्यूनाइजेशंस है, उन्होंने इस बारे में भी बात की है कि किस तरह से मंकी पॉक्स के जैसे जो डिजीज़ हैं उसके वैक्सीन को भी कंट्रोल किया जा सके. नाउ CMC वेलोर की स्टडीज़ पे डिस्कशन हो रही थी. सो द गवर्नमेंट एडवाइजरी पैनल हैव रिव्यूड the study on the Christian Medical College in Vellore that called for the feasibility of allowing the precautionary dose, जहाँ पे differences रखने की बात की गई है, and even the vaccine different from one to that of the primary uses. The National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization did not make any recommendations on allowing the heterologous, or you can say mixing of the booster dose. Even for time being, there is no such final recommendations कि जो booster dose है उसकी vaccine को mix किया जाए. It's not yet finalized. And the CMC study was done on the COVID-19 and Covaxin doses only. The precautionary dose taken up very low in India. It's almost 42 of that eligible elderly cover under this. And the panel has reviewed that the data of Covaxin and Corbevax with the vaccine between the age of 6 to 12, right? ये पिछले साल खास करके गवर्नमेंट ने इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशन दी थी जहाँ पे बायोलॉजिकल ई वैक्सीन कोर्बीवैक्स एंड इवन एज बिटवीन 5 to 12 वेर अलाउड. भारत बायोटेक ने भी कोवैक्सीन स्टार्ट किए बच्चों के लिए 6 to 12. The standing technical subcommittee members were learned to have agreed on administrative, where they called for the renal transplantation of the patients before the precautionary doses. If required, they need to seek doctors and take their consultations. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, in the shadow of sanctions, something important for General Studies paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries on India's interest and Indian diaspora. So under this editorial, basically I'll be simplifying this editorial by 4 important subheads. The first is background, Tehran declarations, international north-south transport corridor, and the Chabahar port. The entire editorial focuses upon India and Iran relations. So India's foreign minister is on a 3-day visit to India, and Iran foreign ministers, this is Iran foreign minister is on a 3-day visit to India, and Iran foreign minister visit reframe resolve the two countries strengthen ties. It has been seen that no, some level of, even at the background, we have seen that the relationship was not going with that firmness. But to conclude, yes, Iran is an important partner for India. The sanction that was imposed by the United States on Iran after the Tehran withdrawal from the nuclear deal may have virtually destroyed India and Iran trade relations also. The repercussion was seen by India also, especially India की जो energy import है from Iran, ये impact हुई, but the geopolitical logic underpinning relations between the two countries remain firm. So it is very important for both countries to have a firm relationship and boost their trade as well. अब तेहरान डिक्लेरेशंस की अगर बात करें, this signed during the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee to the Iran, when it affirmed that a shared vision of two countries for equitable, mind my words, equitable, pluralistic, and cooperative international order. This is what India quoted on behalf, basically Prime Minister ने ये बातें रखी थी ताकि दोनों countries के बीच में एक mutual understanding establish हो. It also recognizes that Iranian President Mohammad Khatami, the vision of dialogue was civilization, and that was a paradigm shift of international relations based on principle of tolerance, pluralism, respect for the diversity. Now, 2 decades later, India ने strengthen की अपने partnership को ताकि जो central visions हैं Indo-Pacific के वो achieve हो सके. International North-South Transport Corridor, an important segment, उसकी difficulties काफ़ी हुई. Despite the difficulties posed by the decade of American sanction, Iran with India, Russia, and few other countries with the Eurasian region continue to work on this multimodal international north-south transport corridor. 130 kilometers की ये line है that connects the railway network from Iran, Azerbaijan, Russia, and the activation of the alternative Caspian Sea routes speak about the positive outbreak of Iran, India, and Russia on the corridor. That is variety of geopolitical challenges also. So this is something in a longer run is going to benefit all other countries, especially the member countries and the participant countries. What is Chabahar port in this arena? Talking about the Iran and India issue, Chabahar port is an inevitable topic. So Iran Chabahar port is developing two berth that will lease the commercial operation for 10 years. It has also storied a preservance of two countries. Iran has maintained Chabahar port not to seek the rival Pakistan Gwadar port being developed. However, Iran does not have a like-minded partners when it's come to developing Chabahar. Since Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, Pakistan, it led to efforts to link Central Asia with Karachi through a trans-Afghan railway. And India is pushing integrated Chabhar into 13 nation of the INSTC. So these are some of the important points if you're writing between India and Iran relations, specifically in the main paper, you need to highlight this. And if you are someone who is having an option of PSIR, so you need to dig deeper in the India's Iran relation also. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, also the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice. Consider the statement with regards to World Sustainable Development Summit. It's an annual flagship summit organized by Greenpeace. The theme for the summit was redefining common future, safe and secure environment for all. So do check it out for the correct options. Second is Shramik, that is a dynamic portal for job mapping and skill of the Shramik MSME and other industries across the country. The portal uses algorithm, artificial intelligence tools and provide analysis on skill training and programs of the Shramik. So which among the following is the correct option? Because these schemes and policies of government is again important for the prelims examination. So do check it out for the correct options. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.